Hello, my name is Simon. I'm a junior cybersecurity engineer, an active student in the cybersecurity field. I specialize in cloud and network security, but I also do study digital forensics side by side. And today I want to be more precise with the video we are doing. So maybe you do want to start in Linux, or you do want to start in cybersecurity, and you are faced with very many options. And one of those options is installing Linux on your machine, or running Linux on a dual boot with Windows, which comes with a few technical problems that you can be able to solve. And the other option you do have is installing Linux on the Windows virtual machine. And yes, that will be the best option if you are really starting and you don't want a lot of trouble, and it's something you can do away with if it doesn't go as you thought. And today I'll be introducing two websites here. Now, the first website will be this website, VMWARE.com. Then the next website will be kali.org. So let me just open the kali.org so that I get through it and you see how it operates. So the kali.org, as you can see, the org has a meaning, but we won't get much into that. So this Kali Linux is an open source Debian-based Linux distribution geared towards various information security tasks such as penetration testing, security research, computer forensics, and reverse engineering. And onto that, you can do many other options like video editing, 3D. You can do all those stuff. So once you open that, so this is the option we did. You had an option. So this is the option. You just click on download. Then there's a variety. You've been told that choose your platform here. So here to choose your platform, you have installer images. These are the ones you install. Most people call it bare metal, or technical people like to call it bare metal. Virtual machines, we have ARM, mobile, cloud, containers, live boot, visual. So I'll talk about live boot. Live boot is whereby you install that Linux on a flash drive like this one. So the issue with it has no persistent memory. Persistent memory is memory that records activities of what you've done. Containers, you know them, Docker or LXD. Visual, you install Linux as a subsystem to the Windows. I'll be doing a video on that. Then we have cloud, mobile, ARM, but today we are focusing on the virtual machine. So you just click here, and we have a variety of virtual machines that support Linux, or that are in support of the Linux virtual machine. So we have the VMware, VirtualBox, Hyper-V, and QEMU. My VirtualBox of option is VMware, but as well you can use VirtualBox, Hyper-V, or QEMU, whichever you feel like. So I'll take this first option, the recommended one. The below ones are VMware weekly, but I'll take the recommended ones, and just like using default settings on maybe a device. So I clicked download, but for the sake of this video to be short, I had already downloaded it. My mouse has glitched. I had already downloaded it, and it comes as a zip file. And from that, I also came to the Fusion VMware of VMware.com. So I went directly to download now, and it redirects us onto another page, support.broadcom.com. Then from here you just come select my downloads. Here you are being redirected that there are free software downloads here. So you select it as an option. Then you wait it to load. Then you just come here, type VMware Workstation. You will get your VMware Workstation Pro. Type on the show results. And there you can see you have the VMware Workstation Pro. I won't download it because I had downloaded it prior, for the sake of this video to be short. Let me just pause this download. It's rushing to download. And yeah, just like that, we do have everything. So what happens next is we do what? We unzip. So for the unzipping, we've already unzipped the Kali Linux, or the Kali Linux to be precise. The Kali Linux, we had unzipped it onto our desktop. As you can see on our desktop, we have the Kali Linux 2025.4 VMware AMD64. So we already had unzipped it. And when it comes to the software, we were just finishing up the setup of the VMware. So let's finish it up. I accept the license, but make sure anytime you read through it, or maybe you might find things you don't agree with. Okay, install Windows Hypervisor platform. I'll just skip that. I'll do that. Next. Yeah, all I want is a desktop shortcut. Then I'll press install. I believe it will take a shorter time. For the sake of the video, I really do want my videos to be less than 10 minutes. Okay, and just like that. Yeah, and just like that, we've been able to install the VMware Workstation Pro. So I'll do the finish. And now let's start. Okay, I want to start it from here. Where is it? I want the start menu. Okay, the start menu is opening on my other window, but just to explain what I'm doing, I'll just type the workstation or the VMware. So I've just typed the VMware workstation. Let me just show you what I've done. Where is it? So this is what I've typed in. So I'll just do the VMware workstation Pro, and I'll open it, or I might choose to run it as an administrator, but there's no harm to the selection I've done. And now let's wait. Once it starts loading up, I'll push it to the other side so that we can see how we go about it. Yeah, and you can see this is it. So this is the menu as it opens. So what we are going to do, we don't need to read that. Okay, you might need to read it, but for this case, I don't think it's quite necessary. So you create a new virtual machine. You come here, create a new virtual machine, and then we have two settings. We have the typical, this is the recommended one. Then we have custom, we advanced, or where you select what you really need. You cut down to exactly what you need. I'll go with the typical, why not? And installer disk, it's asking me, okay. And what we'll do now, okay, I think you come click here on the installer disk image file, which is an ISO. Then you browse. On browse here, I'll come to the desktop because that's where I did add this folder, the Kali Linux, and I'll click till there's no match for it. And wait, okay, so it's using the CD-ROM. No problem to that. Open a virtual machine, and I've changed the option. Open a virtual machine. So the right option to take is come to open a virtual machine, click on it, then come to the desktop, do this, just double click till you get here and do open. So what we are doing, we are opening a virtual machine, and you can see here there are things here like it has a memory of 2 GB, processor is has been given for, and these things you can manually change them. You can see it has taken a hard disk space over 80. It has access to the network adapter used to share hosts, IP address, custom. I think you can do all those settings later. It also has access to the USB drive, display, and all of that. We're not getting much into that. We just want to come here and power on this virtual machine and wait. Now the VMware is okay. Just say okay. The VMware is running, so this is virtually another computer running on your computer. There always used to be an option here for, what is it? For what? It used to be, there used to be an option here for full screen. So you just type, you click, you press on enter to select the first option. Let it load, and it has default credentials. So once it opens or it loads up, it has default credentials, and these default credentials At most of the times will be Kali Kali. I never read through that because probably I expected to just be Kali Kali. And you can also read this whatever it displays. Now it's opening our Kali, and we are now running Kali Linux on a virtual system, and this is the VMware Workstation Pro. And just like that, yeah, and just like that, we are in. You can see my screen, and yeah, so I'm using the default credentials Kali, and also for the password Kali, unless I'm told those are not the right ones. Yeah, those are the right credentials. I think nothing has changed more since the last time I used a virtual machine. And you give it time to load. We've given it a RAM of 2 GB, so probably it's running on a very small RAM. I can see that it hasn't recognized my mouse. You can see there's no cursor anywhere. Oh, there it is. It has come up. So I just click on that button to the pinning button so that it enables my system to run this way. But you'll come to once you get much into this, I'm still losing my cursor. Where's my cursor? Okay, I think there's trouble with it, but we can use our keyboard. So let me just go to the terminal, and there we are. We are connected to the internet because it's using the internet that we had already connected onto via the Windows machine. Let's try to run at like Wi-Fi and see what it will tell us. Wi-Fi must be run as root. Okay, sudo Wi-Fi. And you remember most of the times when I'm running tools like Wi-Fi, I'll be disconnected because my camera connection is via the Wi-Fi. So, and the network we are using must be connected to the computer and the camera so that I can be able to compare. So probably we are going to get lost. But anyway, okay. So the password is Kali, and you can see that we're having trouble with it. It never. Here's what it says. Airmon and we did not find any wireless interfaces, and that's where you get to understand that some of those attacks will be hard. I don't know if there's an update that supports that, but probably there's a way. There's always a way, and we won't be able to access the network adapter, the internal network adapter. So most of the times you are told to use the external network adapters, but I think there's a way around it. I've not been following up, but this is the easiest way to run Linux on a virtual machine, or to learn Linux, to learn cybersecurity using Linux on your virtual machine on a Windows machine. And that's all I had for today. And I think you find this video educative. And if you have a question about what I've given out, just feel free to ask, because yeah, why not?